But Jeremy, soon you'll see.
Hey guys, I know it has been a minute since I have done an actual Broadway show review, what even, but now that I am living back in the city, these are going to be a lot more frequent, which is exciting for me and I hope exciting for you guys. So far, I think it is exciting for you guys, but that's not what this is about. This is about a very specific show that a ton of you have requested that I see, that I make slimes for, that I make flowers for, and that I do a review for, and that is Be More Chill. The time has finally come. I finally saw the show in its entirety, and I am ready to talk about Be More Chill. Before I get into talking about the show, I do want to remind those of you who have been here before and tell those of you who have not been here before about the fact that I am 110% honest when I do reviews. I've been doing reviews for a long time, not on this channel. You're only going to see a couple on this channel, but if you guys know me, you know I've been doing it for almost a decade in the community, and I have always prided myself on being completely honest about what I think of a show. I think it's really important to the art form that those of us who work in the industry be honest with it, so I don't sugarcoat. And if that bugs you, or if you're a huge fan and can't take the criticism of a show you love, I would back out now, honestly. Just click that little X and say goodbye, you know? But if you want to hear what I have to say, the positives and the negatives, stay tuned. If you don't know me and you're new to this channel and you want to learn more about my experience in the theater industry, pop back to the Moulin Rouge review. I think that's the one where I introduced myself on this channel as far as Broadway stuff is concerned, not just slime stuff. But yeah, pop back over to that because I'm not going to go into it again for those of you who have been here. But let's hop right in and talk about Be More Chill. I am going to, like I said, do the positives and the negatives, and I have my trusty playbill here in case I forget anyone's name because girl's getting old. And I want to make sure that I get all of that correctly, as well as song names. So if you see me flipping through this, then you know why. So another thing that I think is kind of cool about seeing Be More Chill on Broadway is that I've literally been watching Joe Iconis shows. In case those of you who are seeing this don't know, he is the writer of Be More Chill, but I have been watching his shows since, I want to say, a decade ago. He played little cabaret theaters and underground theaters, and I have been going for just about that long. So I'm super familiar with his style and his work. So any criticism that I have is not going to be the same type of criticism that you might see in the New York Times or a really stuffy, if you will, publication that doesn't understand rock musicals, that doesn't understand modern musicals and someone's type, style of shows. I know Joe's style. I'm familiar with it. I own a lot of his work already, so this has nothing to do with that. Just wanted to preface with that. Let's start at the top of the show. I thought the opening was great. I think it's really fun and modern, and it gets you into the character. Will Rowland is fantastic in this role. He's not your traditional leading man, but for a show like Be More Chill, you don't want a traditional leading man. So it's really cool that he was able to step into this, and it's kind of perfect for him. He's nerdy and geeky, which we love. That is not a slight. That is a compliment. And he's a fantastic performer. I thought that the way that they set him up in his bedroom, on the internet and everything, really connects the show to a younger audience from jump, which is important for this piece because starting with the book, it's always been directed at that younger audience. So kudos to them for that choice. I thought, taking him to school and seeing him get all beat up and everything. Oh my gosh, spoiler alert. Sorry. I just jumped right into talking about that stuff without putting a giant thing across the screen right here that says spoiler alert, because I am going to talk about spoilers. It's a review, but just in case you don't know, that means I'm going to talk about all the things. And yeah, okay. So, he goes to school, gets beat up, is ignored by the girls, the whole nerd shtick and all that. But then he runs into this girl that he loves, Christine. And I have to say, I am obsessed with the Christine theme that he sings. He sings it multiple times throughout the show whenever he sees her, and it's been stuck in my head since I saw it. I'll just play a little clip of it right here so you can hear it. I hope my video doesn't get taken down for putting that in there, but I love that moment. I love what theme songs represent. Mimi in Rent has one every time she walks out on stage. It plays that little I should tell you undertone, and it's just, I love that in musicals. It triggers something in your heart. It makes you want to love the character, and that brings me to my first negative. So, Christine. I'm going to look up the name of the actress who played that role. Okay, so it's Stephanie. So Stephanie plays Christine, who is Jeremy's main love interest, and I don't love the character, which was a real big bummer for me. What I want to say is that I'm not sure what it is that I didn't love. I don't want to blame Stephanie. It could be direction, it could be writing, but Christine's portrayal felt just not correct. And I know that that's subjective, but as a theater person, since that's what she is, it felt kind of yucky to me. I didn't like the way that they portrayed her. She felt like an SNL version of a theater person. In a show like this, that just felt really out of place. I know everyone is kind of a giant caricature version of their high school trope, which is fine, but hers felt extra over the top, which is why I don't know if it's acting, directing, writing, what part of it is, but not a fan of Christine. Wanted to get that out of the way. If you're mad about the negative that I had to say, it's over, be glad. That's my main negative about the show. So let's move on to the great positives. I loved the majority of the music. However, I guess there's a little bit more negative. I don't think a lot of the songs are earworms, which means like it gets stuck in your head. Some of the songs are. Michael in the Bathroom is an earworm for me. The Christine theme is an earworm for me. And the Be More Chill, that one is an earworm for me. Other than that, I can't name any more songs. Without looking in this playbill and finding the song list, see, now that I'm looking at the list, I remember these moments, but none of them are stuck in my head. Like, Two-Player Game was a great moment theatrically. I loved watching it, and I loved how they played off each other, and I loved that they're best buds, but I don't remember the songs super well, and I usually remember music very easily. The more I think about it, it's like coming into my head, but it takes me pulling it out of like the recesses of my brain, and an earworm is just right there, Do You Want to Ride? I remember now, but it's not something that I want to play over and over again because it's just like not that kind of a song, So anyway, though that is another thing that I wasn't a super huge fan of, was that I'd like a few more earworms. Let's talk about a giant positive, like the most glaring, huge, neon flashing sign positive in the show. George Salazar playing Michael. Oh my lord. So good. Specifically, Michael in the Bathroom. So many of you have been asking me to do a music mixing video for Slime with the song Michael in the Bathroom for like ever, literally ever. And I was always like, that sounds like a really strange song for a slime. But after seeing it, I was like, this is one of the greatest moments. I knocked down a slime jar. That's how good it was. No, I mean, the fact that he could be alone on stage for that extended period of time, pretty much talking about the same thing over and over again, and have it be interesting the whole time and dynamic the whole time and develop the whole time, I love. I am addicted to that moment. The song is stuck in my head. I think he deserved all the accolades that he's getting for this role. I can't say enough good things about George playing Michael. He's a great character. He's super fun. I also think that he plays really well off of Jason as the dad. Like, they're totally different, but a great team for Jeremy to have, like, on either side of him. Not in, like, a angel devil kind of way, but just, like, bumpers of love. Yeah, he was really great. I also was skeptical of the choice of the Lyceum Theater prior to going in, but I think the show actually fits really well in the Lyceum Theater. Let's go back to our trusty playbill and see what else we have to say. Whoop-a-doop-a-doop. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I love a playbill. Y'all know that. So, who else do we want to talk about? Jason Tam. Oh, Jason freaking Tam. Okay, so full disclosure, I have worked on a show with Jason Tam. My entire channel is named after that show. He was in If Then, which is the love of my life. But you have to know he is a fantastic performer. He's also absolutely adorable. And I mean, like, good looking, not like cute little boy adorable, like, ooh, you're so pretty. And he's gorgeous. But I digress. He's also a fantastic performer. If you don't know and you haven't ever seen him in like a full dance show, he's also an amazing dancer. But he is just so good as the Squip. He fits it perfectly, and he changes just enough each time the Squip needs to amp it up. Whoa. He gets scary at the end, but I mean, he's supposed to, right? Because he's the villain, essentially, more or less. It's hard to say. I actually want to say that I think the portrayal of the Squip in general was perfectly done. I love that he's a little caricature-y, but he's just like a supercomputer that's been translated into human form, and he's doing his thing, and he thinks he's doing what's best for Jeremy and for everyone in the way that like a sci-fi robot villain might in a movie, where they think they're doing the right thing. I'm supposed to do, blah, 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 whatever like that. He's not as robotic as that. But I really loved that it wasn't cut and dry with him. It wasn't just like evil from jump. He really was trying to help Jeremy. That's his whole purpose. And I thought that was great. It was great acting. It was great directing. It was great writing. So good there. Let's talk about the girls for a second, other than Christine, because we haven't talked about the popular girls. Two of them, Lauren Marcus and Caitlin, I thought were really good. I enjoyed both of them. I can't say that I really enjoyed the characters very much. I actually quite disliked both characters. The whole poodle thing was a lot for me, but I think as performers, they did a good job with what they were given. Gerard Canonico, who is a longtime Broadway vet, he did a great job with his character. He gets really over the top at some points, and that's a little much for me personally, but I can guarantee that was required of the character. He was directed to do that. I've seen him in a ton of things, and he's always great, so A+ there. I have to say, I was surprised that they let a high schooler keep all those tattoos, but not mad about it. Just a note. Who else? I already talked about Jason as the dad. I thought he was great as the dad, and it's nice to see, the family. The last person that I really need to talk about is Tiffany Mann. She played, see, this is getting bad. I am getting old. What is the name? Jenna. So Jenna is like the gossip, if you will, of the school. And she has such an amazing voice, and I think she is really underutilized. Probably because when they created the character, they didn't know that they were going to find someone so great, which is fine. Totally get that. I didn't love her character. I understand how she drives the plot, but I feel like there was no real kind of satisfaction for her in the end the way that there was for the others, so that was a little bit disappointing. But overall, I want to say I really enjoyed myself at Be More Chill. Sometimes I get notes from people that, I break down shows too much, or that I talk about the negatives too much. Just because I point out things that I think could use improvement in a show, or maybe replacement or whatever, doesn't mean that I didn't have a great time overall. Catch me right there in the middle of the theater, clapping so hard through all of Be More Chill. I was gasping. The people were sitting next to me, friends of mine who I went with, were laughing at my giant reactions to things because I was really genuinely having a good time. I really enjoyed the show, and if someone invited me to go back again, I would definitely go and see Be More Chill again. And if somebody who's in the right demographic, like enjoying the right type of show, asked me for a recommendation for a show in New York City, which happens daily, I would absolutely recommend Be More Chill. So if you are young or even older and you like rock musicals and you like new, fun, cool things, see Be More Chill. I absolutely think it is a worthwhile piece of musical theater, and it should be enjoyed by as many people as possible. Are there some pieces of Be More Chill that I thought weren't fantastic? Yeah, but no, I mean, very few shows are perfect. Like, there's things that needed to be fixed in Rent. Jonathan Larson did not have the time to fix that, so we are not saying that, you know what I mean? But shows aren't perfect, and we can love them anyway. There's a place for it here, and I absolutely love it. And I also just realized, looking down at the playbill, that I completely matched the playbill now. Perfect timing. That was not planned, by the way. I had this hair planned, and I just happened to see Be More Chill. So A plus for the team there. Loved seeing it, and I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have requests for other shows, feel free to drop them below, and I will try to go see them. Now that I'm in the area, I can see things more often. I am seeing Hadestown in like 10 days, so that will be the next one up. I am dying to see Oklahoma, so let's hope I can get tickets to that. There are a ton of shows on my list of things to see, but if you have a specific request and you want to hear a review of something, whether it's on Broadway right now or has been in the past, I will probably be able to do it if it's been on in the last 10 years. I have seen most shows that were on in the last 10 years, so ask away. Now that I'm here, gonna get ramping back up into this, and I hope that you enjoyed it.
Good fortune, and we dreamed about fame and success.